Hi everyone, my name is Ms. Cannon and I'm your instructor for geometry, measurement, and probability. I'm glad to have you in my class this semester. Online classes are sometimes a little overwhelming at first, and so I wanted to give you a quick overview. In my last class I was a little too lengthy, so I'll try to be a little faster for you guys, but I want to give you a quick overview of the class and how to get started and so forth. So we're going to start on our homepage. Obviously this is it. At the bottom of the homepage, you've got my name and my email address, my phone number. I am a Senatobia instructor for Northwest, and I'm on the Senatobia campus in the math building on the second floor. And like I said, there are a lot of you from Gulf Coast and East Central and I think Copiah Lincoln maybe. So I have a lot of you from other campuses. So please know that I'm aware of that. And if you have any questions or you need any help, especially during testing time, feel free to reach out. I'm glad to have you. I'm glad to help you. Okay, so when I go back to the top, and right here there are 4 little buttons. One says start here, one says syllabus, due dates, and grades. Now I'm hoping they're going to be set up properly. If not, they will be before this video goes live. I want to click on due dates first. Yes, it's up there. Great. Now, I'm one of those people, as most of you probably are as education majors, where I like to know what I'm doing and when I'm doing it. So if you clicked on due dates calendar, something's going to pop up that looks like this. Your first week for me is a getting started module, which means it has no math in it, which is excellent. It lets you get your feet wet and not be so overwhelmed. So this particular week, you're going to have a getting started quiz and you're going to have a discussion board. So as soon as you're done with that, you're great. You're ready to go. You're done. And so you can mark out that week. And so that's all you're going to have to do before January 22nd. In my class, you will be allowed to work ahead. You may not get start the first week because I have to wait to a certain point before I can open everything up, but eventually you'll be able to work ahead. So if you said, oh, week 1 was easy, let me go ahead and knock out some of week 2. Well, week 2, you have the quiz, the discussion board, and some MML homework. And so you can mark them out as you go, and that just gives you an idea. It kind of helps you to stay more organized. So again, let me show you where that was. If you go to your home page, where it says due dates, right here in the bottom left, that's where that is. Right across from due dates, you see grades, and so if you click there, it's going to give you the grade book in the class, so you'll see that. You also see syllabus, so I'm going to click there. In the syllabus section, you have your standard course syllabus, you'll have your course outline, and you have the calendar, which is that due dates calendar. If you wanted to print it out, here's where you can print it out. You also have a course summary, which is also a calendar, so you can see that as well. Now, I want to talk to you about the course outline really fast, so I'm going to open that. Again, you have my name and my contact information. You have a recommended textbook, which we're going to talk about. Calculators. You are allowed to use a calculator in this class, but we are very specific about the type. It has to be a Texas Instrument. So if you look at your calculator right now and it says Casio, you will not be allowed to use it for your exams. If it's a graphing calculator where it says TI-82 or higher, you can't use those. You can't use a TI-36. You can't use a cell phone. So we're very particular about these models. Now, usually they'll run you about $10 to $12, maybe $15 at Walmart, Walgreens, Amazon, the bookstore, but you'll want a calculator for the class. Okay, you're going to have 2 proctored exams. One's at the midterm point and one's at the final, and together they're going to be worth 60% of the class, so it's a highly tested, the proctored part. That's where the majority of your points come in. My math lab we're going to talk about later. You've got your course calendar here when classes begin. Your final exam in the class, the last day will be April 26th, so you'll be done with me after that. For those of you who are graduating from Northwest, your last day to apply for graduation is February 24th, so put that in your calendar. And graduation for Northwest students is May the 12th. Okay, you can read through here again. If you do need help, you're welcome to contact me, and I'll be glad to help you. But we do have tutors on our DeSoto campus and our Senatobia campus that are free. For those of you wanting to join the Northwest Education Association, you can contact Ms. Stennett, and you see that on there. And you can read through the rest of that. Okay, so again, we're back at our home page. All right, click on Start Here. When you click on Start Here, the first thing that you're going to see is click to enter Canvas Student Orientation Access Code. Okay, that is something that the school puts in there where it requires you to look at the school policies. So what you're going to do is you'll click on this and it can tell you what to do. Students must complete the Canvas Student Orientation on your dashboard. Okay, so let me start with that for a second. For those of you from other schools, you may have issues with this, so feel free to contact me and I'll be glad to help you. But for all Northwest students, you're going to see an extra class in the dashboards. Just where you see geometry and English and history, you'll see one that says Student Orientation. You need to open that class before you can complete geometry. Open that class and complete the orientation module. Now, when you complete the orientation module, you will hit Take the Quiz here, and it says the access code from that orientation module is this, and you'll enter your access code here, and then that'll open up everything in my class so that you can participate. Again, if you need more instruction on this, if you open that quiz up, it's going to give you directions on the orientation being in the dashboard. It says if you don't have this in your dashboard, here's who you contact. And so it's got that in there as well. Okay? Before you can enter anything in my class, before you can see any of the material in my class, you have to do the student orientation. And again, feel free to contact me and I'll be glad to help you with that as well. Start here. Okay, when you start here again, it's going to go to the student orientation, so you'll do that. And once you complete that, you've got course introduction. Okay, the first thing it talks about is your outline and your syllabus, so you have that there. It talks about you're having quizzes and discussion boards each week. It talks about the calculator policy again. Remember, you can only use these types of calculators. In this class, you are going to be using MyMathLab software, okay? So let's talk about that for a second. Some of you have purchased the book already from the Northwest Bookstore, or you have taken the prior class of this called Real Number Systems. If you have already participated in Northwest Real Number Systems, you do not have to buy an access code because it covers 2 semesters. Now, if you need help with the registration directions, here's a little link right here in blue where you can do that. Look at that. Textbook information. I do not require the textbook. If you want the textbook, I would recommend getting it from the Northwest Bookstore because it will come with a code. If you rented your textbook from Chegg, it does not come with a code, and you have to have the code to do the homework. Okay, and I'm going to come back to that in just a minute because that's probably the most confusing part. Here again are your percentages in the class. There's your printable calendar. Your midterm exam will be offered between February 27th and March 1st, and your final will be between April 24th and April 26th. At Northwest, you will be able to test on the Oxford campus, the DeSoto campus, or the Senatobia campus. If you're from another school, you'll be able to test on your home campus. And I'll definitely give you information about signing up. We no longer offer Zoom or testing at home. You will not be able to test from home. Okay? You have to come to a campus, whether it's your campus or our campus. You have to come to a campus to sit in front of a proctor to take your exams. All right, so let's go back to the MyMathLab for a minute because that's probably the craziest part. So over here, let me go back to home one more time. Over here on the left, you see My Lab and Mastering. Okay. you're going to click right here where it says Open My Lab in Mastering, and one of three things is going to happen. Okay, some of you, as soon as you hit Open My Lab in Mastering, if you have taken the Real Number Systems course, it's going to put you straight in our My Math Lab course and you're done. Excellent. Okay, some of you are going to see this. Okay, so you'll accept the license. Okay, and that puts you on this sign-in screen. Okay, if you have taken a My Math Lab course before, you're going to use your username and password, and you'll sign in to that account. Now, once you do that, it's going to give you two options. The two options are, you can, one says access code. So if you bought your textbook or bought your code from the Northwest Bookstore, you'll have an access code that you'll enter in that bright, colorful spot where it says access code. If you didn't buy the access code with your textbook and you just want to buy it straight from the site, you'll be able to click on the part where it says buy access. Okay, and you'll enter a credit card. It should be less than $100 for the online textbook. So that'll give you an online textbook, an ebook, and it'll allow you access to the homework. This class did not come with an ebook included in tuition, so you will have to either buy the access code from the bookstore or buy it online. Now, for those of you who are from other schools, if you have trouble with this part, just message me and I'll be glad to help you. Because most of our Northwest people were good with this, but the other schools, sometimes we have issues. And so I'm glad to help anybody, though. Feel free to always email me or call me and I'll be glad to help you. So again, do you have to buy a textbook? No. Do you have to have an access code? Yes. Okay, and that's what we're looking for. Now, let me look through my notes really fast. All right, let me show you how our typical week is set up. You can click on modules on the left, or you can click on start here. Okay, I'm going to show you our typical week. It starts in chapter 8. That's where the geometry portion of the class begins. The first thing you have are your student learning outcomes. So we're going to be able to graph points, find distance, find slope, and so forth. You're also going to have to complete a discussion board, complete a quiz, and complete homework. Okay? Now remember, with the My Math Lab homework, I didn't say this, so I shouldn't have said remember. Do not use Safari. It does not work with Safari, so please, please, please do not use Safari. Okay, you've got an introduction here with a discussion board. Now, here's how mine works. See where it says your notes are located? If you're one that you like to print out your notes and write on your notes, you have chapter 8 notes right here at this little spot. And then you have a video that goes with the chapter 8 notes. So this video will go with all of those notes, just like you're in a classroom. So here's your video 2. And then once you're done with those 2 videos and looking over those notes, you're ready to complete the weekly quiz. Click on this link to begin your quiz. Now, so let's say I said, okay, plot this point. Which one is it? And let's say that I answered the wrong one. At the end of this quiz, you can go to submit, and it's going to tell you which ones you missed. After that point, when it tells you which ones you missed, look back over them and see if you can try to figure out which one you missed, and you'll have a second attempt. Now, if you can't figure out why you missed it, use that time in between your 2 attempts to contact me, to get a tutor, to go to one of our free tutors, Khan Academy, YouTube, whatever you need to do to make sure you understand the objective. So again, you have 2 attempts at every quiz. So I wouldn't wait until late Sunday night to do the first one, because that doesn't give you a lot of time to, study up to get a higher score. So try to do it maybe, say, by Wednesday, and that way you can use Thursday and Friday to study up to try to figure out what you did wrong, and then you can take the quiz again before the Sunday night due date. And all of the quizzes are due on Sunday night. So remember, with your quizzes, you have 2 attempts at every quiz. Okay, let me leave this fast. All right, the other thing I want to show you is, so here's what we did. We did module 1 here. I showed you the material for chapter 8. We looked at the quiz, and then you can click on My Math Lab homework. Well, the homework's going to open up. Right now, all that shows is lesson 1, but you'll see all your lessons. And so these are your 7 questions that are your homework, and that's also due by that Sunday night. You can do these as many times as you want. So let's say you missed one. If you missed one and you do check answer, and it says, oh, that's incorrect, it'll give you a help me solve this. It'll give me a view example. It'll say get more help. Let's say I miss it a second time. And then let's say I miss it a third time. Goodness. Sorry, it'll take me just a little bit longer. Hopefully we're almost there. Obviously it gives you a lot of attempts. Now then, see at the end, once I finally came to the end of that 4-part question, it says, oh, you missed it. Do you want a similar question? So you'll be able to do a similar question for any of the problems here. And again, if you have trouble with the My Math Lab, you're welcome to contact me. Or you can do the Help Me Solve This, or view an example, or ask my instructor. So you can do all that there as well. All right, so your typical week looks like this again. You will have your lesson 1 material, you'll have a quiz, and you'll have a My Math Lab, and sometimes you have a discussion as well. Not every week, but sometimes you have a discussion, and that's your basic week. Now, so there's lesson 2, lesson 3, lesson 4, lesson 5, and then you get to the midterm review. So you have, like I said, you have 2 proctored exams in the class. Okay, you have 2 proctored exams in the class. If you click on review information, it'll tell you exactly what to expect, and it'll give you there's your material you need to memorize for the test, and there's your midterm review. So your midterm review is going to be just like your test. I was a little long-winded. I apologize for that, but hopefully that'll give you get you going, help you get started, help you get off on the right track. If you need anything at all, please give me a shout. I hope you have a great semester. Please let me know.